All right, so the next lesson is on basically another version of an equation for a line. All right, so this is called slope point form. Okay, so in the previous lesson, we did, just gonna scribble it over here, slope intercept form. All right, which is the y equals mx plus b. All right, and just a little review here. So the m is the slope, and the b is the y-intercept, all right, which is a specific point that's on the line. So this slope point form, right, is another equation, but this time rather than just the y-intercept being the point, it's just any point that's on the line you can use as x1, y1. Right? So anyways, this is the equation. Looks perhaps a little bit complicated-ish, all right, but I think once we do a few examples, it'll be pretty clear. Right, so let's just get into the first one here. So graph the equation y plus 1 equals -1/2 bracket x minus 2. All right, so if I was to decipher this here, you can see that the m here, which is the slope, is this number here. Okay, so this line is going to have a slope of -1/2. Now, the other key thing, though, that I want to point out here, this is kind of key here, use a red pen, is that you'll notice that these are negative signs. Okay, so y minus y1, x minus x1. All right, so what that means is that, yeah, so my point here is x1, y1. So this is my y coordinate. So y1. This would be my x1. Now, the only thing, though, is that these are minus signs, right? Which means that the point that we're going to be working with, the point that we're going to initially plot, is actually going to be, it has to be the opposite signs. All right. So in other words, the point is going to be +2, -1. All right, and not the other way around. So you don't just read off the points; you got to actually take the opposite signs of each one. All right. So now we should be able to graph it. Okay. So I have a point that's on the line as well as the slope. All right, so scroll this down here. So the point here is at 2, -1. So that will give me my starting point. All right, so 2, -1. And from there, I want to draw a line with a slope of -1/2. All right, so again, that's rise over run. Okay, so the slope is -1/2. We know that it's going to go in the negative direction. And the 1, again, is the rise, and the 2 is the run. All right, so from here, if I go down 1, I'm going to go over 2. Okay, so that's the next point there. Down 1 over 2, and I can continue that on in both directions. So up 1, left 2, and plot all of these. All right, so again, you can see that those points will line up. Now, last step here, I'm just going to connect these. A somewhat straight line, do my best. Oh, what happened there? Just disappeared. Okay, let's try that again. Oh. Uh-oh. All right, like technical difficulties there, but try that again. All right, so let's draw that line. All right, cool. So, all right, so there is the graph of that line. Actually, what I'm going to do now here as well is I'm just going to show you a website that graphs functions for us. Right? So let me just open this up. So this is like an online graphing calculator. So So we'll go to, it's called Desmos, right? Desmos.com. So I'm just going to open up this graphing calculator, and I'm just going to take this equation here, copy it, and paste it. All right, and you can see here, yeah, so if I was to compare these two lines, right, you see it goes through 0, 0, goes through 1, -2, and so on. Okay, so so this website, it's also, you can also download the app on your phone. It's pretty handy. All right, so basically what you do is you input an equation and it'll graph it for you. So this is just what I'm going to use to check, or this is what I'm using to check my my graph there. Okay, but anyways, all right, so yeah, so this is basically how the slope point form works. And just make sure you read off the points as being the opposite signs. And the slope is the one number in front of the bracket with the x. All right. Cool. So so yeah. All right. So let's go on to this one over here. So for this next example, we're going in the other direction where we're given the graph of a line, and we want to find the equation in slope point form. Okay, so slope point form. So let me just write that back up again. So the slope point form, actually this you do not have to memorize. However, I will give it to you on test, or you will need to be able to use it. All right, so this is the slope point form. Again, we just need to figure out what the slope is and then a point that's on the line. Okay, so let's start off with finding the slope. All right, so first thing here, you can deduce that the slope is positive. All right, and I'm going to compare these 2 points. Okay, so from here to home, I'm going to go up, let's see here, 3 units. Then I go to the right, 2, 3, 4 units. Okay, so you can see that slope here is going to be positive 3 over 4, rise over 1. All right, so 3 over 4. I do apologize, guys. It seems like technology is not cooperating with me too much in this lesson, but it happens from time to time. All right, so anyways, rise is 3 over 4, so slope here is 3 over 4. And then for my point, I can choose any point that's on line. So this one, this one, this one here, this one here. It doesn't really matter. So any answer is correct. So so let's just go with this one here. Okay, so this point here is, you can see that's at 3, 1. Okay, so the point 3, 1 is on the line. All right, so if I take this information and sub it into the equation of this line, we will get y minus. All right, so this y coordinate is positive 1, so y minus 1 equals 3 over 4 bracket x minus 3. So this is the equation of this line. All right. This is not the only answer. You can also use, so I'll just write more here. Let's say we chose this point instead, which is -1, -2. Then if we choose that point, right, again, this time I'm going to go y minus -2 equals 3 over 4 bracket x minus -1. Now, within this equation, the negatives cancel each other off, and this actually becomes y plus 2. And over on this side here, 3 over 4 x plus 1. Okay, so this is another possible answer for this. All right, so as long as you pick a point that's online, I know these two answers They technically look different, but they will result in the same line. Cool. All right, next one here. Let's write an equation for a line that passes through the point D, which is negative 2, 4, and is parallel to the line 3 over 5. Okay, so if a line is parallel, we know that it will have the same slope. All right, so this is in y equals mx plus b form, or slope-intercept form. So remember that this number here is the actual slope. Okay, so the line that we're trying to find will also have a slope of 3 over 5. Okay, and again, the general equation y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, so this is the general formula for the slope point form. So if I plug in the information I have y minus 4. So this is my x1, y1 equals slope, which is 3 over 5, and then x minus negative 2. And we can simplify that x minus negative 2. We can actually write that as x plus 2. Okay, so this would be the equation that we're looking for. All right. Now the next one here, this time we want a line that's perpendicular to this line. Okay, so remember, perpendicular, we got to find something called a negative reciprocal. All right, so in this case, if this slope is 3 over 5, the negative reciprocal is basically you flip the fraction, but then you also have to change the sign. So the negative reciprocal, or the slope of the perpendicular line, is going to be at negative 5 over 3. All right, and again, if I know it goes to the point D, which was negative 2, 4. What is happening there? And then it disappeared. Oh boy. All right, so D is again negative 2, 4, and the equation was y minus y1 equals m. Sorry, let's erase this. Try that again. All right, so m bracket x minus x1. All right, so plug in the information here. We got y minus 4 equals m, which is negative 5 over 3, and then x minus negative 2. So I'm just going to jump that step and just write x plus 2. Right. Cool. So that is the equation of the perpendicular line. Right. Now, actually, you know what? I'm going to use that Desmos again and just show you that these answers are correct. All right, so please bear with me. So I'm going to open up Desmos again, graphing calculator. Okay, so the original line we have is y equals over 5x minus 2. So that is not the x minus 2. Okay. So this is you'll notice that it's the same line in both parts A and B. So let me punch in this answer here that we got for part A. I minus 4 equals a over 5 x plus 2. All right, and you can see that it does go through the point negative 2, 4. See that? About that. 2, 4. All right, so you can see that the blue line here that we graphed, 2, 4. So the answer that we got, so this blue line that we got here, is actually parallel to the red line, which is the line in the equation, right? And it does go through the point -4, too. All right, cool. Now let's just check the other one. So the answer I got for this one here, again, we got y minus 4. The only difference here is the fraction's different, right? So -5/3. Right. All right, so you can see that, again, it goes through the point -2, 4. All right, there. And it appears to be 90 degrees or perpendicular to the red line. All right, so we did, we did get the correct answers there. Cool, guys. Again, I do apologize, not the smoothest of lessons, technical difficulties, but it is what it is. All right, so anyways, cheers, take care.